So I'm smiling behind my mask, like I'm ready for you guys. Hello, I am Jessica with the Stitchhouse, and I'm going to show you something really cool that we have not shown on a Facebook Live before. And I'm using a Brother Luminaire, which is my favorite sewing and embroidery machine in the store. They're all my favorite, just like Brian says, but I really, really love this machine. And I think it's going to knock your socks off what we're going to do next. So today what I'm going to do is called couching, or I think I say that like the really American way. I think it's like cushing or something like that. Someone has corrected me in the past, but I call it couching. And if you don't know what couching is, then we're going to show you today in a really cool little quick tutorial. So most of the time couching is done by hand. A lot of people sew on. It's almost like embellishing something else with some type of a yarn. So we're going to do it with an embroidery machine today, and it's not going to be too much work. The Brother Luminaire is really cool because it has these built-in embroidery designs that are specifically for what we're going to do. So there's no need to go buy a design or buy a pattern or anything like that. It's all built into the machine. So let me show you kind of how that works and what I'm talking about, because you may own a luminaire and have no idea that you have this feature. So I want to show you how you can access it and get to it. So first things first, it doesn't inherently come inside the luminaire. So when it leaves the factory, it's not in the machine. But every single luminaire that we've sold comes with this upgrade, which is really cool. And if you look on the front of the box, there's a kind of a demonstration of this couching here.
Not every luminaire.
Well, most all the luminaires. Brian's giving me the not every luminaire. Most all the luminaires we've sold come with this upgrade. And if you don't have this upgrade, it's a must-have in my opinion. So you can kind of see an example of the couching on the front, which I think is really, really cool. That's what we're going to do today. And then inside, there are everything you need to do the couching. Also in the upgrade is the hoop and all the tools and the feet. So let me just stop talking about it and kind of show you what I'm talking about. The other really cool thing that I love too is that if you forget how to do something like couching, there is this awesome thing that Brother puts out called a playbook, which is basically like a color tutorial handbook that's got all of the different projects, step-by-step instructions. It's all here in the playbook. So most all the luminaires that we've sold have also come with this playbook, and we love, love, love this playbook. So I had to refresh my memory on how to do this. Bye, I'll be back. Thanks. I had to refresh my memory on how to do this, so I just went into my playbook, and I think it was on page 306. Yep, there it is. So couching with embroidery, and then there was my step-by-step back here. So I've refreshed my memory. As you know, most of the things that I do online I have not tried out before, so we're going to do this together today, and I'm going to show you a little bit about what I've got going on here. So first things first, we're going to add couching to, we did this on a demo a few months ago, and we added this cool embroidery design with what was built into my design center. So this is just a denim jacket that we picked up, I think at Target. I've got a dime magnetic hoop on here, which for a denim jacket, something that would be hard to hoop like this, and kind of an interesting embroidery design with couching, I didn't want to put really any stabilizer behind here, so I just stuck my magnetic hoop on. The other thing that I have attached to here as well is this couching guide. I have no idea if that's the actual name, that's just what I call it. It's a couching guide, and I posted a picture on Facebook earlier, about an hour ago, and there were two holes right here, and I asked anybody if they knew what these two holes for. Well, in the upgrade that you get with the luminaire, you get these two different guides, and one is for embroidery, and so I think it's called like an EC guide, yep, embroidery couching, and one is for sewing, and I don't think there's any markings on here. So you can also sew and couch at the same time too. You don't just have to embroider with it. And the cool thing is this machine also comes with the things for sewing with couching. So if you see notice this foot here, remember last week I did that really cool demo with the 1/4" foot. This comes with the upgrade, and it's got the hole so that you can sew and couch at the same time. So this goes onto the move it foot, and then this is the piece that the yarn runs through. So I'm gonna do embroidered couching today, so I'm gonna let the machine do the work, which is really cool. So first thing we have to do is take this little piece, and I just attach it onto my machine here. It's got two places for the yarn to guide through.
Hold on, do you want to show them exactly what holes you're putting it in?
Yeah, I put it into this front hole here, and then I just set it down. So it just sits there. And then if I remember correctly, when we did this about a year ago when the upgrade came out, I took a lot of yarn and I'm gonna kind of help guide this through. The design's not gonna take a while, but I've kind of unraveled a bunch of yarn here so that as it stitches, I can kind of help it kind of go through. Again, like I said, I haven't tried this yet, so we're gonna do this together on Facebook. It's the only way that you actually do things, is to try. The other really cool thing too is, so I showed you the sewing foot that it comes with. This is an embroidery foot that it comes with that's specific for couching. So I've pulled my thread through here. Actually, I'll show you how easy it was. So it comes with this awesome little like metal dental floss. And all you have to do is, you could probably hardly see this on Facebook, but it's just a little metal dental floss.
Bring it close to the camera.
If you lose
the camera's
this,
down lower.
Oh, if you lose this, you can use the actual dental floss things that you can go buy at, you know, Target or Walmart or anything like that. So if you lose this, it's not that big of a deal. Just go buy a thing of dental floss. All I have to do is stick my, or if you live with someone like Brian, just have him make you one out of probably all the wire he's got in the garage somewhere. So all I'm gonna do is stick it through there, and then there's a little tiny hole, if you wanna zoom in here, Brian, where I can feed this through. Oops, I missed it. I'm working from the side so that you guys can see, but I'm just gonna feed it through here and then I pull, which is really easy. Okay, now, I tried this out on my machine so that you guys know it works first. I didn't know if I could use the needle threader with something like this because it was so close to where this yarn was. But you actually can. So let me show you how cool this is. So I used my spool stand here, and I used a color that kind of matched my yarn, and I came down, up, and around just like you typically would. There we go. And I came through number 6 here. If you've never seen this needle threader work, it's phenomenal. And then I cut. Sorry, I'm working from the side, so I can't really see. There it is. Okay, and then I pressed my needle threader button, my foot went down, threaded my needle without any issues. All right, now check this out. This is the coolest part. So I'm gonna go into embroidery on my screen, and we have done the upgrade. Kelsey helped me with that this morning. We got it done. It was quick, right, Kelsey?
Always easy.
Yeah, easy. I'm actually gonna do a video. Maybe I'm gonna have Kelsey do the video showing you how to upgrade your machine. So if you notice, if you haven't done the upgrade yet, you won't see this button. It ends at the Mickey Mouse here. This button here with the C stands for couching, and I click this and it opens up all of my different embroidery designs that I can do with the couching built in, which I just think is phenomenal. I don't know if you guys know this, but you can actually make designs bigger and smaller just like an iPad, so I can zoom in or I can zoom out and see more of them. I did that in front of someone the other day and they had no idea, so I wanted to show you. You can actually zoom in. You can open your designs up and down too. So because this jacket's so cute, I want to just add some roses to it. Oh, the single rose? No, let's do the big roses. Okay, so I want to add these roses to it. So I'm going to click set, and if you kind of notice how the design looks interesting, that's because it's digitized to couch. So you don't have to do any of the hard work. Brother's done the work for you. It's built into the machine, and here's my couching embroidery design. So the machine knows what I'm getting ready to do. Oh, yep, and we'll stick it back through the guide before I start. Okay, so I do have something already embroidered on here and appliqued. This jacket's gonna become like the, what did we say this was gonna become? Oh, my Casey Musgraves jacket with just all my random things on top of it. So we're gonna add the couching to it, but I wanna make sure that I don't get these little applique stars that I've already done. So what I'm gonna do before I start is I'm gonna just kind of pull this up a little bit so it's not in my way. Yeah, we do need fringe. Okay, well, we'll do that again because it popped out. That's okay. I'm gonna pull that up and I'm gonna scan into my machine what I've got going on here, what I've got in my hoop. So all I have to do that is there's a camera button right here on the top. I click the camera button and I tell it to scan my background and I click OK. So what it's going to do is it's going to take a picture of what's in my hoop. It's gonna pop up on the screen and we're gonna make sure that my embroidery design is in the correct place. Super quiet. Okay, so this is really cool. You can maybe see it on your screen at home. So there's my other designs that I have embroidered. I'm just gonna move this over slightly. I'm probably gonna move it down just a little bit. Perfect, so that it's not touching my stars. So I know that's kind of hard to see on camera, but I know that if you, there we go, Brian zoomed in there, perfect. So I've got my embroidery design and I've got my other design. That's what I've already done. That's what's in the hoop right now. I just wanted to make sure that my couching wasn't going to stitch on top of that. So that's the really cool thing about the background image. If the background image bothers you and you don't want it there anymore, something that's cool on the luminaire is you can turn it on and off. So there's my design I'm doing. And then there's my background image. I love it. Now, because it's a luminaire, I'm gonna make sure that I'm in the right spot, so I'm gonna turn my projector on, and I'm just gonna go up to where this little star is, and I'm gonna make sure that I don't see any of my embroidery design touching. And again, it's probably gonna be hard for you to see. Oh no, you can see it pretty well. I can make sure that none of my embroidery design is touching around where my star is, which I think is really, really cool.
Let's check the seam, make sure it's not touching.
Oh yeah, you wanna check the seam too? Oh, Brian, look at you. Brian said check the seam, make sure it's not touching there. I look like I've got plenty of space in between my seam and where my embroidery design is. I think it looks good. Now we just have to rethread everything because I pulled it out, which is okay. I think it's nice to, I think it's important to double check what you're doing before you start anyway. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take this yarn, ease of use of the yarn not included. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this yarn, I'm gonna put it through the first little hole.
Can you scoot back?
Yeah, I know, I just wanna make sure it's in the right place before I get going. And through the second hole. And I'm gonna grab that little piece again, which I said you will lose if you set down, and I have. Where is it? You know what I'm talking about? My little dental floss thing that I told them they'd lose? Oh, here it is. That's what I said. You're gonna lose this. Just go get it. Why are you shaking your head? Because I lose everything. I do. I lose everything. It's really bad. At about 4 o'clock this time every single day, I have everybody in the store look for my phone. Okay, so, and Brian is shaking his head because I always blame him when my keys are gone too. It's usually my fault, but I like to blame him. I know you guys know what I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm gonna take this and we're just gonna do it one more time. That way you guys can see what I did. And bring it through the hole.
Better get to stitching. You got 10% battery.
Okay, I'm getting to stitching. Okay, I think we're ready to go. If you don't want to lose this thing like I did, put it back in the bag every single time and leave it. Okay, so
She'll lose the bag.
I'll lose the bag, like I just did. Okay, I'm gonna click OK, so I turn my projector off. I'm gonna give myself a little bit of space back here. I'm threaded, I have the yarn. In theory, this is all gonna work really well. Or, not at all. So you guys will get to experience it with me. And this is not something you wanna just set and walk away. You kind of wanna make sure that the yarn is feeding in really well, so we're gonna make sure that's happening. So don't just set it and leave. Okay, so I like where it is. I'm gonna go ahead and put my presser foot down, and we're doing it.
You gotta feed it.
Yeah, I know. There it goes. So, the stitch that it's doing right now is it's kind of moving back and forth and tacking down my yarn. Nope, it's not doing it. There we go. Got to give it some slack. Let me make this mistake so you guys don't have to. There we go. So you don't want there to be too much tension on here. You want it to be able to feed through really nice. Even if I'm at full speed, it's gonna run slow so that it can get all the, tack down all the pieces of the yarn. So this is why I said, don't just set this and walk away. Let it do its thing.
Yeah, you gotta.
It's okay. This is why we do the lives together, so you guys can see. Perfect. There we go.
That's where it's catching. I don't know that you have to go on both of those. This is how I did it when I was there.
Oh,
With your
really?
left hand.
Okay. Oh yeah, that feed's really nice. So,
Is it stitching anything down?
I think this yarn may be too thick. Let's try a different yarn. And I have backup. Okay, so if you pick a yarn that's too thick, pick a thinner yarn. I was at Michael's when I bought this yarn, and I said, that yarn may be too thick. So, we're gonna cut it, and we're gonna start over with a thinner yarn. So, I am prepared now doing these Facebook Lives. I know that things may not always work out initially, and also I picked the pretty chenille style yarn. So let's use something a little different.
That's what it's made for.
Okay. And I'm just gonna cut this off. And I'm just gonna start my embroidery design over in the exact same spot. So I think it actually may look cool if I just kind of leave this. This is my fun jacket, so it's gonna have all kinds of stuff embroidered and sewn all over it eventually from all these Facebook Lives. So we're just gonna start over in the same spot, and we're gonna see if we get a little bit better results. Maybe interesting stitching over that, but we're gonna see what kind of results we get. Dang it. Okay, don't set this thing on the table. You'll never be able to find it. Okay. Take two. Can you do that on Facebook Live?
Yep.
Okay, let's try this. In fact, when I brought this back, I showed Kelsey the yarn, and I said, just in case that one doesn't work, I got another one.
Always gotta have a backup.
Gotta have backup.
This is why you don't stitch on your nice denim jacket.
This is why you don't try this on your nice denim jacket. Okay, so now I'm gonna go back to the beginning of the design. Click OK. And give it some extra, like I said. Do I have any questions? Besides, why do you always mess everything up on Facebook Live, Jessica?
No.
I know what I'm talking about, I promise. Okay, so.
So it's a good trick if you show them, like, having it just sit in a little well here.
Okay, I like that. I like that a lot. All right, let's try it out. I think it likes this yarn a lot better. Okay, so lesson learned on this is the right yarn is important. See how it's tacking this down all the way around? The right yarn is important. Let's see how it stitches over the old yarn. I think it'll stitch over it just fine. It's just fuzzy. Oh, that's cute. I like it. That'll be like our accented highlight. It's never mistakes, just happy little accidents. Brian's looking at me so mad because he's getting ready to stitch that out. I actually think that looks cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we learned two things on here. We learned that you need to choose the right yarn if you want to do the embroidered couching, which I'm happy to admit that I chose the wrong one to begin with. We'll use that for something. We'll use that in our handy quilter. Emily loves to do some cool couching demos. So you need to choose the right yarn. And then if you want these cool embroidery designs, they're built into the luminaire. So all the tools that you need to do this is inside the machine, what comes with the upgrade. If you forget what I've showed you, it's in the luminaire book here, and it's really, really simple to do this. Just a little bit of fun and playing and practicing for whatever garment you're doing, or I've seen this done on scarves and it looked really cute. I've seen it done on bags and it looked really cute. So we'll do this cool little jacket and we'll have a fun sample. So do you want to get in there nice and close so they can see it actually stitching down this yarn and not stitching down the other yarn? Any questions or anything, Brian, back there? No?
2 people have asked how come I'm not on camera.
Oh, really? Brian said 2 people have asked how come he's not on camera.
Bad hair day.
Bad hair day. This is really, really cool. Yeah, it was just that we were using too thick of a yarn to begin with. I always try to buy the fancy stuff. That yarn was way more expensive than this yarn, so just the inexpensive $5 yarn at Michael's or the other J store, and you'll be able to do the same thing. So again, notice it's going nice and slow because it's a complicated design, but it's really, really cool. Okay, let me talk about one more thing before we go. Ah, that's so cute. I'm just gonna cut out that little piece there. I'm gonna do it really quick. So I want to tell you guys that we are still coming off of not having a Need a Good design, and I'm pretty sad about it because you guys know how much I love Taylor. So if you are at all interested in a luminaire or any other embroidery machine in the store, we ordered machines in because of a Need a Good design. So we have some really good specials on the things that we have too much of in stock upstairs. So if you're interested in this, we have package pricing, the same package pricing that we had at Anita, we have available because of the order that we placed from Brother, and we can extend those same deals to you. So if you're interested, give us a call at the store, send us an email, get a hold of us on Facebook. Somehow we will see that information and we will let you know our package pricing. We can do that over email. So go ahead and, if you're interested, send us a message or send this to your friends that may be interested in the luminaire. We have really, really good special deals right now. This looks really cool, doesn't it, Brian?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What about travel machines? Do we have any of those? Pace setters?
We just got in, this is exclusive information. We just got in some lower priced machines, which they've been out all around the country for a very long time. So I think we've got 5 or 6 Brother machines under $500 price point, which is, like I said, hard to find right now. So if you're interested, or if you have somebody that's interested in a beginner machine, those have been out of stock since March, and we now have them in stock. So if you're interested in that, let us know. And we'll show you the finished product of this when it's all done. Right, Brian? Okay, thanks, guys.
You're going to not continue to let it go?
No. I'm going to show them when it's done.